Strategy and Snark presents Dungeons & Dragons Online. Welcome back. Today is only going to be a long one. We are looking at the level 15 free quests and the level 16 free quests. It'll make sense when we get there, but there's just no way as a free-to-play character to do the quests purely in order. So I have to do some of the free level 16 quests to do some of the level 15 quests. One in particular, I think. Which is weird. I could get around it using paid stuff that I own, but I'm not going to. We're just going to make a really long one with 11 quests in it, because they're all free. There's a lot of free quests at the 15-16 range, and 15 is already so crowded with quests. We're going to be level 15 a long time. So we're going to start in the 12. We're going to go to the back side of the airship tower over here. This little quest tucked away in the back. It's one of the oldest quests out to here, if I remember right. At least I don't remember them adding it. This quest is older than I have played the game. Climbing up this little path on the back side of the airship dock. And we will talk to this guy. This is a very simple quest. There's a bunch of troglodytes out here. Well, hello there. I am obviously... Well, maybe not super obviously. I'm redoing this quest. I'm actually redoing all of the quests in this episode, and only keeping the footage from in between the quests, because the audio got screwed up again. And I was going to leave it as is, but perfectionist tendencies. So we are 3 levels later because of the editing schedule. So if you are playing along with me, just keep in mind you're not going to have some of the toys I have, because we've got a couple extra levels under our belt at this point. But I wanted to be able to talk through these quests, and it would have taken forever to try to fix the old audio. It's not pretty. The basic problem is every time I swing the sword, it was a really, like, the game audio had duplicated itself into every single one of my audio channels. So, here we are again, for the first time, in Acid Wit. This is a kind of standalone quest. It doesn't really connect to anything else. We were just sent to kill a bunch of troglodytes, because troglodytes are smelly. It turns out these particular troglodytes also have summoned these acid stone elementals. And while there's nothing inherently wrong about that, they are tunneling under they're tunneling under the 12, and they could potentially destabilize the things that are above, because they're using their elementals to kind of dig wherever they want. So we have to kill the high priest, but also destroy all of their acid stone elementals, so that it's not a threat anymore. This quest used to be a lot harder. Acid stone elementals have a reasonably high amount of damage reduction, and back in the day it wasn't as easy to just hold mouse button and kill them all. Really? If you would have just held still, I would have walked past you. You'll notice I didn't bother turning left at the beginning of the quest. You don't need to. There's a couple of dead ends is all there is there. And there is enough. There is enough backtracking in this quest as it is. This is not a quest I do very often. It's not hard. I just don't like having to run down all the different hallways. I especially don't like it when I have to do it twice because the audio screwed up. Come on, bats. Get out of here. Oh, well, I guess the bats are pointing out I missed an elemental. You don't technically have to kill all the elementals. I want to say there's a leeway of 2 or 3. How did I get Bat Exterminator? I've been here before. There's a leeway of a couple. We have to go down that hallway and that hallway, which each split into 2 different hallways to open that hallway. But you have to walk up to the door before it'll let you actually pull these levers. Because motion detectors? I don't know. Oh, another elemental. So each of these 2 hallways leads into 2 hallways. And at the very end we're going to get a lever. Just some very classic old school quest design. Make sure you pull your hirelings to you, because they will just jump into the acid and stick there. Did you already get stuck? No, you made it. And then you turned around? Look, I'm watching the hireling instead of watching the bad guys. Get out of here. You weren't threatening the first time. I think that's probably the biggest thing, is these... Yes, I've got a couple extra levels. But if you've been following this this build anyway, we've been just slamming through everything anyway. There's not really much in the way of challenge on these particular ones. You know what's more challenging? Getting the audio to work right. I have fixed the audio so many times. Current challenge, if anybody out there happens to know, every button press, the mic is picking it up super well for some reason. They're not in line of sight of each other even. There's a piece of wood blocking the keyboard and the mic. I need to go back to my crappy old mic that couldn't hear things. Anyway, enough griping. Enough griping about things that aren't the game. I'll complain all I want about the game. 1 out of 4 hallways complete. Nothing but troglodytes and elementals. You've seen one hallway in this quest, you've seen them all. This one's red instead of green. And we climb up another. Oh, we haven't even quite gone far enough to climb up. We have to go through another room and then climb. Some of these early quests, I'm not really sure what you could do with them. They're more legacy content than anything. It's like, there's nothing broken about them. There's no reason to take them out, but it's like, yeah, nobody does this quest for anything other than nostalgia because they did it when they first started playing the game. It's just, or maybe they really hate troglodytes. Good. I think I mentioned in my first run through of this that you can't hear because of the combat audio. I think troglodytes are probably more hated than goblins. So goblins are bad, but everybody expects that, like, oh, it's a, there's some goblins, we gotta go kill them, or they're going to steal all our cows or whatever. Kobolds people practically ignore, right? Kobolds are, at least in Stormreach, generally not threatening enough to warrant a response. They're not completely evil, and they're not very smart. But troglodytes are strong, strong as far as, like, vermin-type enemies go. They're stronger. But most importantly, they stink. Just the troglodyte stench, I think, draws more ire than anything. You know, if we're being honest, the troglodytes probably aren't even going to bother anybody. They're probably just down here being troglodytes. But they stink. You could probably smell them from outside the cave. And I tell you, smells are... People underestimate just how important smells are. There's a reason that if you live on a lake or something and you get like the high tide or the low tide stink, it's like when you're trying to sell that house, you specifically want to try to have the people come look at the house during high tide. I guess tide is more of an ocean thing, but it can happen in lakes, I think. But yeah, you definitely don't want the stink of low tide when you're trying to upsell your house. Conversely, I happen to work adjacent to a blueberry muffin factory. And I'm not always coming by at the right time of day, but sometimes I get off work. And there's like, you can tell that a fresh batch of blueberry muffins just got processed. You know, and we're not talking like, oh, you walk in the kitchen like, oh, there's a blueberry muffin around here today. Getting distracted and going the wrong way. No, we're talking about an entire factory's worth. Entire factory of blueberry muffins. You can smell it from blocks away. I got confused by smells once. Because not terribly far away is just a generic, like, bakery, like that just makes plain bread. Like, it's the factory that makes the generic white bread. And just without knowing the factory is there, the smell of bread baking is not a good smell. Like, if you don't walk in and go, ooh, you're making bread? That smells wonderful. It's like, no, without the context, it's like, what is that? Alright, are we finally done flipping levers? There's literally nothing to talk about in this quest other than go flip the 4 levers. Cast acid resistance if you have it, which I didn't even bother. Oh, I did. I did, actually. We got, what, 5 acid stone elementals left? I don't know if there's 5 in this room. I think I might have ran a little too fast. And skipped a couple. Gonna get mad if I've got to turn around and fight more. I'm just gonna jump down here. Hey, you guys got 5 of these things for me to break? Please? I see 2. There's a 3rd one over there. There's only like 2 extra, so... Where's... I can't have just wandered past that, man. I only skipped the 1 hallway. Really? Really? You guys live on 1 HP? Where are you, Rest? So, there's like 2 extra elementals, and I'm missing 2, which means I missed 4? Although I have been just running down the hallways. We're going to do it the easy way. We're going to go back to the entrance of the quest. And hope that there's 2 to the left after all. Because I don't care about the XP, right? I must have just passed one somewhere because it didn't aggro right away. So I just kept running. Are there even any down this hallway? Hello? Elemental. This is not making me like this quest anymore. I mean, I already didn't like it. There's 1. Come on, I just need another one of those things. There we go. Done. See, there's another one over there. And another one over there. So there was 4 just right here. So maybe that was the problem, is there are 2 extras, but because there's 4 to the left, you do have to go to the left. Blah. Whatever. I guess since we're here, there is there's sometimes another elemental here. Just be careful of the hirelings. Don't leave them in the lava. I didn't even summon him. I can't even fight this thing because it's in the lava. And there's some guy. No. We are done. We're done with this quest. Now he comes out. You know, you get smoked. Can I leave now? Alright, so back to the footage that I had before. This is going to kind of zip. I'm just going to piece together. So I'm gone. I'll be back when we walk into the next quest. Let's go ahead and do our level up, because we've been sitting on this level for a little while. And we actually get a feat this time. Advance as Paladin. Give me my half a point of use magic device. So, I'm going to take as my feat Extend. What that's going to do, once I find it, it's going to let my buffs last twice as long. They cost a little more SP, but I don't care. It's just a quality of life thing. You don't need Extend. You can absolutely get away with not having it. I like it because I'm lazy. So now, if I were to right-click on my spells, I can say Extend, always on. You can go up here into the feats. I can find Extend. I can drag it to the bar, and I can turn it on. And it'll just count as always on. Every single one of my spells costs 10 extra, but they last twice as long. That's what it does. But I don't need every single spell to do it. I just need the ones I care about to do it. Because I don't want to extend Dispel Magic. I can't. It won't let you extend something that it wouldn't be relevant for. But all of these? Yeah, why not? Oh, you're not allowed to extend Righteous Command. Interesting. Not allowed to extend Imbue a Shadow. So we're going to have to pay attention to some of these, because they might expire faster than we were expecting. Is that all of them? Alright, I think that's all of my spells, assuming I don't have an open slot, which I'm not going to fill right now. And now that we're level 18, we can take the core. We can take a bigger ability because we're officially level 18. So, click, +4 accuracy versus evil, an extra die on every hit, +4 against some certain spells, Vorpals against undead do an additional 500 damage. If we critical hit an undead, it's going down. And then we officially only need to spend 1 point in this tree. Once we're at 40, we can just stop. And then at level 20, we can take the capstone for a bunch of extra stuff. So where are we going to throw 1 point? Unfortunately, the stat is 2 points, and I don't want to go over. You're not 1 point, are you? No. What I should do is reset the tree. Ooh, how about you? 1 point. 2 more Smite Evils. Done. Done. It's done. The other 2 points I'll spend on... What are you? Plus saving throw. And... plus armor class, I guess. What are you? Extra lay on hands. No, screw that. Extra lay on hands, extra lay on hands. Done. Done. It's done. Easy. What I'm aiming for plus 10% movement speed, but we need to spend 2 more points. So next level up, we get to run 10% faster, which will be nice. I could have got it this time, I think. No, because I'm too short. Alright. Now that all that's behind us. Now. Delirium. This is a thing. This poor innkeeper. So let's just look, okay? So we're good. This is an inn. This is like one of the only things here that's not like the 12 tower or the airship dock. This person got like what they thought was the only good real estate out here. Unfortunately, they were a little too close to all the crazy. Me again? Alright, Delirium is a fun quest. This one I actually do. So I obviously just got done with Acid Wit, as we are redoing the quests. Look at this. Look at this. This quest starts out with 4 beholders sitting at a bar. This poor business owner. So we talk to the bartender here. Our goal is to save the waitstaff. And the guests, I guess. And there's a portal to Zoriat, obviously, that we need to close. So, talk to the head beholder. I mean, I guess they're all head beholders. They're nothing but head. And you can challenge them to a drinking contest. So you literally run over here and you start drinking as fast as you can, versus all of them drinking as fast as they can. The hirelings can also drink with you. If you fail your save, you get that little stun effect. So I'm trying to... Come on. Drink. Your turn, hireling. And then me. So, you're trying to fill up their side of the bar. Unfortunately, that's not really how you're going to win, because the guy can't make you drinks that fast. I can just spam the use action. So, what's going to happen is those beholders are going to... they're going to get knocked out over time. Look, I did it. Are you going to give up? I got no drinks left. 1, 2, 3, 4. They all go bleh. I'm a paladin, so you might consider it cheating to challenge a paladin to a drinking contest. We take the guest room key, and we're going to go over here through this perfectly normal door. Nothing weird going on here. Everything is normal.
No, nothing is wrong at all.
And we're going to just check on all the guests. This one's being attacked by dogs. Honestly, the fact that this one survived this long is nuts. Okay? Charlotte the Scarlet survived against, what's that, 6 Thrackhounds? For who knows how long before I got here. And then who do we got in here? I think this is the wizards. Yep. These guys are fighting these little tiny beholders. They're actually not in any danger. Those guys could probably handle this fight on their own. But, you know, it won't trigger unless you walk into the building. Right. You go. You go. That one's locked until we come back. And stop it. This guy's just kind of crazy by himself, so we knock him out. He gets better. We take his key. And we can go to the library. There's nobody in the library. I mean, there's nobody that we aren't going to kill. These Thrackhounds have the worst timing. Back in the corner, there's a key. The key tries to run away. It's a naughty key. Demon shows up and chastises us for being mean to the key. So instead, we are being mean to this guy. If he would stop running in circles around the hireling, it'd be a little easier to hit him. Pick up the key. Take your junk loot. What was that item? Elementally resistant? Interesting. Why am I not wearing bracers? Weird. I'm going to pick those up and think about wearing them later, because they do have 2 different elements on them and 5 constitution. So on your way back out, now this door is open and it's got a little beholder. So again, not going to bother casting my buffs. Now that we have the key from the library, we can now head into the kitchen area. I'm trying to get through these faster because I've done them already. Getting sloppy. So, back here at the entrance, there is the kitchen door. Now we can go through. We need to save the cook. But the cook, he's busy. He's cooking. Because if he stops cooking, the food comes after him. We have hambies and clambies. And this is my favorite part of this quest. I love the idea that the cook is just down here frantically cooking as fast as he can. Because if he stops cooking, all of the food will zombify and come after him. This could be its own thing. Like, this could be... Well, people like this quest, right? Enough so that there are 2 sequels. There's Acute Delirium and Terminal Delirium. I don't have the key to get in there to fight the optional boss. And I forgot to actually talk to the cook. Damn it. But yeah. Talk to the cook. He'll give us the key. Where you at, cook? There. Thank you. Now give me the key. Boing. Acute Delirium and Terminal Delirium basically build upon this quest. Just the delightfully strange. They are significantly more strange. Like, this is already a weird quest. You have a drinking contest with beholders. And as soon as the the script triggers. We're going to solve puzzles in order to open up the door. Oops, one too many. Come on. Clicky, clicky, clicky. And then the floor tiles themselves attack us. Not a difficult puzzle. There's a way to get up into those boxes, and there's another little beholder and a minor treasure chest back there. But this is just about the end of the quest. So we've got another big old floor puzzle. You can rotate all of these pieces. And the puzzle tiles, like seriously, they'll pop up and attack you just out of spite, ruining your perfectly good puzzle. So I usually start with, if I've got like a big flat side like this, I'm just going to work my way backwards. This goes. So we've got 2 checked. We're going around. We're going to hit this one. Remember, you can, in this quest, you can turn the ones in the middle. What part of hold still do you not understand, Haystack? And we can turn the source, which is also kind of rare for these things. And done. Now, this boss. This boss is another puzzle, basically. We're going to run in here, and there's a puzzle. Don't solve the puzzle. If you've got extra people, you actually want to purposely mess up the puzzle, because the beholder is the one trying to solve the puzzle. He won't fight you until after he is done with the puzzle. So if you have somebody messing with the puzzle, it's a free fight if you can successfully unsolve the puzzle faster than he can solve it. There we go. Another quest done. And I'm going to disappear until we are into the next quest. Delightfully weird quest. We saved people. There was puzzles. There was silliness involved. Man, the second one though. The second Delirium quest, which is part of a chain later. It's not today. It is level 15 by the looks of it though. So we'll get there not too long. The second one's my favorite. So, to the harbor. We've done these 2 leftover quests in the 12. We're going to take a little bit of a shortcut. Because remember, the Lord's Mark Plaza has that side path, which I think is right here. Would have been nice for it to load a little faster there. We can just jump straight to the harbor right here. Boop. This quest is the introduction to the Masterminds of Sharn adventure pack. Big adventure pack. Which bugs me, but whatever. Not going to go into another rant about the lore. But we're going to head right over here to Isabet. Hello, Isabet. She's from Vaunt Arcanotechnic Ltd. I don't remember what LTD stands for. Limited no, that's LLC is Limited Liability Company. Although LTD might just be the Eberron equivalent. She's looking for a mercenary. She just needs some help recovering some stuff from a shipwreck. Sounds completely normal. Under the sea. When she says shipwreck, she really does mean we are underwater trying to recover the goods. Of course, at this point, I have no idea what I actually said right before we got in here because I'm redoing all the quests. So we talk to this guy here. We have to look for the loot, right? They want their cargo back. If you look at the map, which is a nice custom map, there is a shipwreck on it. There's also a ruin right here. You actually don't need to do any of this. We are going to go straight across the top of the map here. You can fight things underwater. There's some weird... Like, we've been over this over in the Feywild, right? Oh, and in Red Fens. Electric does more damage. Fire does less damage. You move a little weird. You've got a momentum thing, which they kind of... They've toned way down. It used to be way, way more clunky. But just go along the top, hug the sidewall. You actually want this spot in the bottom left corner, because there's going to be a cave. We can ignore all the enemies out here and just run straight to the cave. Boop, done.
Sunken ships surround the entrance to this underwater cave, but none have formed.
Now we're going to actually work through the cave, which is very short. You're probably supposed to be exploring outside a little more before you just walk into the cave right in the back. We got, what, maybe 4 guards to kill. And there's going to be a wave fight. We're going to walk into, I think it's this room. And that guy, the Dagger Maw Chief, he's going to go, he's basically going to say, hey, this is my territory, get out. Too late, you need to die. And I'm going to say, okay, I guess left mouse button is called for. Check out these sea lions, though. They're funny and dangerous. I mean, they're not really dangerous, but they look pretty cool. Oh no, a necromancer. I wonder if he's going to zombify the guys that I literally just killed. And out comes the chief, and we're done. Go through the shiny blue door that was blocking our way. Gonna have a handful of guys around this corner. And then we're going to skip something. So we need to go across this water. You're supposed to go down there, fighting all those guys, all the way to the end, and across, and up through these guys, over to this guy. But there's nothing stopping me from just swimming through the water and cutting all of that out. And we just pop up right over here, and we go fight the boss.
Your search is finally
such as it is. And bam. Take the mysterious device. Quest done. So now we have an inn with Vaunt Arcanotechnic. That's the name of the company. When we go do the Sharn quests, she is kind of our contact. She's going to be a character we meet up with again. I don't want to do this. Vaunt is the person we suspect stole... Where is it? That. See how that thing's not shiny? It's supposed to be. I don't know if they went this far, but there are things in this game where if you have... Different people will see a different thing. If you start the game and walk out here, I think that there is a sky beam coming off of this hand. But because we've done the Age of Rage pack, my character's point of view is that this is missing. That's where the thing was. It was just sitting up there. Vaunt stole it. We kind of know that. Once we finish the Sharn quests, it'll light up again because we have recovered it. And there's a couple things that happen like that in the public zones. We are about to see one, okay? It's a way better example. Okay, you see this suspiciously cracked wall with all these guys standing next to it? Okay, note this. See this? See this? This is a wall, right? Can't walk through it. It's a wall. We'll be back. Alright, this is where we kind of diverge from how I normally do one level at a time. The next level 15 quest is on the other side of a free quest chain, which is free. So it goes in the free video. Dektaran. So this one, Dektaran is going to send us in here to go and assist, not epic, to go and assist Inquisitor Nomon. The G is silent. So Inquisitor Nomon is the guy from House Fiarlan. Wow, he's still really loud. He's the guy from House Fiarlan who told us to go murder the church full of halflings and other, like, perfectly innocent people. I'm sure nothing bad will ever come from following his lead again. Now, to be fair, these actually are cultists. Like, there's a surprising number of cultists in this world. The attack dogs are just trying to play dead. Alright, did we get everybody? All the cultists dead? Nope, there's still more dogs. Oh, and some cultists. Alright, once all of those are dead, he's actually going to go cutscene mode for a second. Hello? There he goes. So him and his apprentice are going to go that way. We go this way. You can't open the door until he's done talking. There we go. There is a minor optional in this quest. If you go through this door, you can smash down this door, and there's a Lords of Dust altar. You know what we do to evil altars? We purify them. Now it's a nice altar. Because that's even bigger of a dick move. Did we just smash it? No. We're going to purify it. So the altar shall reject your cultiness. You can only purify it if you are a holy type class. So you need paladin or cleric. And I think favored soul can do it. I want to say bard should be able to do it because they should get all of the lore feats. And that's what the game is looking for, is the religious lore feat.
There are light scuff marks around the bookshelf on the right, as if it had been.
Now there's a lever. And we purify the altar. Ha ha. The ultimate blasphemy. Uneviling your altar. Come on. Alright. The last one is on the actual path, so once you do those 2 side rooms, the rest of this quest is a straight line.
The novice who accompanied Noman
Oh no,
lies on the ground in the
the
hallway
novice is
ahead.
dead. Look at the map, okay? This is literally, this is the door they ran through. We ran through the door on the other side of the room. He got like 5 steps before he got murdered. Like, he got nowhere. Alright. Done with these cultists. Free toy inside. Mighty. Yeah, I don't need strength. Take the money. Come on. Another suspicious little drag marks on the floor is what the DM was trying to say. That means that they're hiding the lever.
As the path leads down,
There are some traps on this hallway here. I'm going to just run through them because traps can't hurt me on normal at this point. But they're your standard blade traps.
a dank chill
Now
pervades
these-
the lower level.
These Death Knights,
Creak of hard
they're undead. Right? They are. Don't mind how fast I killed them.
A woman's voice drifts up from somewhere below. She speaks Noman's name. and
Oh,
the
there's
Inquisitor
Nomon
himself
down there
replies.
talking to this
You will
lady.
do no such thing. The Silver Flame has caused enough trouble. Soon nothing I can say will throw them off the scent. No, you
Gasp!
will
The
stay
guy who told us to go
so
murder
that no
all of
one
those
gets
other
by.
Silver Flame
I will go
supporters.
below and assist our
He
guests.
was evil. This was added retroactively, right? They picked him because a lot of the players did not like that there was an evil quest in DDO. So they picked him to kind of make it make more sense that he wasn't really just some racist isn't the right word. What's the word for hating another religion for no reason? Is that just religious? I don't know. There's got to be a dedicated word for it. He's racist for religions, I guess. That was his original characterization. Oh, we got a sword. Evil Blast. Good characters wielding this weapon get a negative level. I don't know if I've seen this one. I guess it's worth noting. Oh, you get this chest for having done the altars. It's worth noting. Fine. Wand of Remove Curse, 32 charges. I mean, I'm carrying around 24 potions of Remove Curse. The wand is just better. Well, no. You can drink potions underwater, and you can target other people. Yeah, you don't have to equip a potion. Nah, I like the potion better. What I was saying was this chain, because this is a chain, this quest, and then 3 more. They're all free. This is a real storyline. 4 quests. And beyond. This pack, it's not even a pack. This chain got updated when they did a lot of the other epic updates. Door. So these named items, I think the named items got a little bit better, but they also got epic version, a lot easier to get, and then level 30 version. So instead of, what level is this sword we just picked up?
What?
16.
Surprised I
You can get a level 20 version and a level 32 version if you really like that sword.
This is nothing, my friend.
So you have to run forward to trigger this little cutscene. I sat here for a solid minute wondering what was happening.
Shall we continue?
Let's turn that volume back down. Don't need even more audio issues.
Give yourself
So it turns out he was a tiger demon the whole time. Gasp. He then murders his last cultists to turn them into skeletons to attack me. Why not just let me kill them first? Let them try. If you're just going to kill him anyway, you might as well give him a chance. As for him, he saved. He's actually not a boss. You can insta-kill him if he hadn't have made a save. That guy's the boss. This guy used to be really hard because he poisons you and he stacks the poison up really high. I think he used to be able to paralyze you too. But, we are currently level 20. Just kind of giggling at this piddly XP we're getting. Unfortunately, killing him was actually part of his plan, because he's a zealot. Zealot! Maybe that was the word I was trying to think of earlier. Zealot. So, he was intending to die this whole time to finish this ritual. And we look out the harbor, and as I will note in a moment, there be a crack there now. What's this? Oh, there's a nice rainbow over there. Check out the rainbow. Anyway, that wall is now super not just a wall anymore. Not a wall anymore. So, this lady gives you your quest reward. You don't actually have to walk all the way back to Dektaron. You can just...
The great cavern revealed by the cultist spell. Where is the silver flame? Someone
gives us our next quest. So basically explore. Servants of the Overlord. Alright, back in we go. We've got... No, hireling. We are still investigating
You have entered the nether realm
what
of Kaiba.
Nomon was up to. Here's another tiger demon. Here's a drow. And it's kind of hard to tell if you're not actively playing this game for a long time, but those drow are different. That drow is not dressed anything like the other drow we have seen all over this place. The drow of Eberron are... It's not just that they're not evil, it's that they had a completely different history than the drow on any other place. Eberron, the drow were slaves, just practically their whole race. Well, a lot of races were slaves to the giants. And they quite happily freed themselves when the giant empire fell. There's no Underdark, no inherent evilness to their society or anything like is portrayed in the Forgotten Realms. While I'm thinking about it, these Fire Reavers, if you're playing on a higher difficulty, especially on Epic, be careful, because they spam Meteor Swarm, and that does physical damage for part of its damage, so your fire resist is not going to just protect you out the gate. But anyway, this is a long quest of run forward and smite the foes. It's not as bad as Acid Wave, but there are some you have to walk down both paths to move forward. But what I was getting at is, if you've been playing the game and looking at these drow are just, people. All of a sudden you've got these drow, and these drow are religious zealots. They will suicide their way into attacking you. They kill themselves to complete their rituals. They're working with hellhounds and tiger demons. Like, these are not the same drow that we've just been like shoulder to shoulder with, just doing adventures all over. This is, if you make a drow character, this is not the kind of drow you're making. All right, we got to go get 2 sockets to open the door. If you go that way and to the left, there's an optional Fire Reaver fight. It's just a big Fire Reaver, just bonus XP, and I think you get a chest. And then you have to come back here. We're just going to do the required stuff. We're going to go down this hallway, and we have another junction. That isn't optional. You have to pull a lever for a long time while being attacked to get in there and get a chest. The shrine is down that way. We only care about going forward, which is convenient because on the way back we can just again only just go forward.
The passageway is irregular.
And now we have a split in 2. This time we have to go both. Down each one of these is going to be a big old demon. Big being relative. This path we have to climb up the ladder, and then we can grab the crest. Then we jump down the hole on the other side, kill a demon, and get a crest. If only I could do it as fast as I could say it. I get that they like to put the crests out as check marks, basically. I'm okay with the crests being the equivalent of, did you explore the whole place? I kind of would rather the crests were somewhere like more meaningful than just, hey, did you check every single dead end in this entire place just in case? Walk down every single bit? No, just let me kick the door down. I don't want to have to go and do homework before I can kick the door down. The backtracking is not as egregious as, say, Acid Wit. Look at this. We're already back at the door. But we're level... Like, I'm level 20 at this point. We were level 18 when we were doing this before. We've done enough running back and forth. Oh, I was thinking of the wrong one. This is the one that you have to pull the lever for like a solid minute before the burial will drop. The other one is just a small fight and some lore. There's no treasure there. It's just you can read some guy's journal. That one had the treasure chest. The webs don't go down until the spiders are dead. I gotta get used to my new level 20 attack is on button number 1, not just run into combat and push number 1. Really? We missed? Oh, then we heal him anyway. Let's try again. Yeah, that's more like it. Critical hit on a 3.
The heat grows more oppressive
On a 3.
as the path drops deeper into the heart of Kyber.
Optional fight right there. If you walk over there, bunch of hellhounds spawn. You beat up waves of hellhounds until Mama spawns, kill her, get a chest. I'm just going to keep going. So we need to trigger another little conversation here. She's, the drow is yelling at the tiger demons, which is kind of baller. Because if we're being honest, even though she's a fancy drow, those tiger demons would probably rip her in half. Like, Rakshasas are no joke. So I'm going to jump up here next to her, because as soon as those guys are dead, she causes the floor to collapse. So I'm up here so I can kill her, and then drop down, instead of her standing up top, casting spells down at me. And now we're in the last room of the quest. We've got another drow lady. and she's going to summon a bunch of different things to attack us. It's another wave fight. So, especially on higher difficulties, what I do is I actually run way over here into this corner. Park the hireling, and now we are far less likely to get jumped by things. So I can still poke my head out to aggro whatever the next wave is. But some of these waves have a bunch of like archers, and especially if you're not solo on normal mode, there's a lot more enemies. So it doesn't look hard, but just go hide around the corner. When you're on the higher difficulties, it'll make this a lot easier. This quest used to be bugged. The boss of this quest used to be... let's see. I think the problem was that it was epic even if you were in the heroic version. Something like that. The boss was too strong. Either it was the wrong one, or like they forgot to make it scale for if you're playing solo or something. They did something and I could not kill that thing. We had to... It only recently got fixed, but it was been broken for a long time. I remember having to... I was going through here with a group, and we couldn't do the next quest in the chain because we couldn't beat this boss. Because it was broken, and it was just like not taking any damage and just slapping us around. We had to come back in on casual, and I think we had to split up so we were doing it each solo just to get through the quest. Archers up here. That's what we're fighting. So that used to be the problem. This giant Hezrao. I mean, he's not a problem anymore, but he was what stopped me from being able to do the quest at all for a long time. And boss lady down. We can now continue on all 4 feet that's left of the quest. Conveniently, we got our XP right there. This guy in the quest gives us not only does he give us our quest reward, he gives us the next quest from here. So we don't have to go outside, we just walk straight into the next one. And this heroic, this is a boss fight. This whole quest is a boss fight. This is usually something they would save for raids, but we get to do it for once, which I really like. I would love it if the raids had a solo or non-raid version of the raid so that everybody can do it.
Arguing over a pile of dragon shards.
It's a lot of work, I know, for basically no payoff, because I know I'm in the minority. Most people want to do the raids. But it would be nice. It'd be nice. We are after the Spinner of Shadows. She is a big old rider. And she was imprisoned along with a bunch of the other Lords of Dust. You know, the let's let loose the evil bound in Kyber so it can roam and all the demons can be free and blood everywhere. They want to basically burn the world and turn it to ashes or dust. Bad. So there's... There's the Lords of Dust representatives. They just finally freed her, and she's going to show her appreciation.
The demon Overlord glares down at you with contempt.
Obviously, it's a cutscene. I can't move. Because if you can move, you can kind of break the quest, but you know, they don't want you to break the quest. They want you to listen to the monologue.
We will report your glorious release to the
Monologue, 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 monologue.
You must help us release the other
So,
demon overlords.
Tiger Demons, yeah. Owned
I will do
immediately.
no such thing. Now that I am free,
She doesn't have any intention of helping free the Lords of Dust.
hideous lords of
She
dust.
only came here for the Dragon Shards.
Now be gone.
Dragon Shards are the things that rain down from the rings around Eberron, like Saturn. It has rings.
Spinner of shadows screams
Dragon Shards fall
and
down.
slips back into
They've
the
got bits of
abyss.
prophecy etched in them,
Her grasp on you slip
which makes
as the
them
silver flame guardian speaks.
very, very valuable.
You have not escaped yet.
If you can translate and interpret them, they're inherently magical. They're like power stones.
The silver flame
So.
guardian speaks.
The spinner
We have driven
is
her back,
free.
but it will not last.
We need to turn her prison back on. To do that, we need to go and kill these spiders, because these spiders have eaten pieces of the silver flame. That big glowing
Once more.
campfire
Quickly now.
from a moment ago, it is kind of an avatar slash aspect of the actual silver flame, as in the god, the silver flame. We are going to get the pieces of the silver flame back that these spiders ate, relight the torches around the prison, and that will re-empower this silver flame guardian to close the trap and trap the spinner again. We have to do this while being attacked by the Spinner of Shadows, who does not want us to do that. I'm going to go ahead and drag the ward crystals down here. We need 36 of them, because there are 3, 6. Is there only 9? No, there's 12. There are 12. No, there's only 9. There's 9 torches. 9 torches, and each one needs 4 crystals to light it. So 9 times 4 is 36. When you beat her up, she kind of spits out some spiders. So there's 2 more crystals. We're up to 7. You chase her away. I'm going to leave the hireling back there. We can go kill some more spiders.
Once more, the demon's
There we
voice
go.
echoes
Catch up
from
to
the
the
shadows
spiders.
above.
I like this side of the map better because I can see where the spiders are. The other side has a lot more like cliffs and stuff because it's more of a caverny section. I'll be fine. So I like being able to go straight to the spiders. I feel like I collect them faster. It's like, oh, I can see some over there. I don't see any over there, so we're just going to go straight to these ones. Feels like I can collect them way faster. Unfortunately, like right now, I think I've pretty much collected all of them. So I either have to wait for the Spinner of Shadows to return and beat her up again, or I gotta go into the other side where we were earlier. Oh, it's my cat. Something was following me. I don't usually bother lighting the torches until the very end. Probably should. Come on, little spider. Stop running away. We're almost at the halfway point. What's half of 36? 18? One more. Alright. Halfway. Kill another one. See what I mean? Like, there's a way worse line of sight here. And I don't really want to stop and fight the forever
A feeling of
spawning.
dread overwhelms you, as if darkness has
They
entered
ran
your
away
soul.
because she returned to the
The
battle.
Spinner of
Boo.
Shadows has returned to the battle.
The demons never stop spawning. So there's not really a point in fighting them. And I should probably run the correct direction. You do not want to fight the spinner anywhere other than standing next to the silver flame. She has a cursed poison thing that actually does a lot of damage, but it is removed every tick of this guy's healing aura. So we can just stand here in his healing aura and completely ignore that poison. Not to mention it's free healing. And she is only vulnerable after she has taken damage from him, which means you need to either drag her physically over here or equip
The spinner of
these
shadows decides to
spheres of
change
silver
tactics.
flame essence that you can ask him for. You ask him, he'll give you some. And then you can just chuck them at her, and it'll also make her vulnerable. When you see this optional pop up, do not leave his side. Red spiders spawn and run over here to try to eat him. He can die. If he dies and you don't have any snowballs of goodness, you can't make the spinner vulnerable anymore, and you might have just lost the quest. Or if nothing else, you're going to have a significantly more difficult time doing anything, because she's going to be way harder to kill. You can't get rid of the poison as easy.
Swarm of spiders
There we go.
subsides.
We got our XP. That means all the red guys are dead. We can go back to
Time
hunting
for you
blue
to
ones.
finish relighting the woods.
At this point, you're going to want to keep an eye on your hireling's
Demon
HP.
chuckles in the shadows.
So I'm out here hunting spiders. If the spinner is on this side of the map, she will come attack me, and then I can just run back to the middle. If she is on the other side, she's going to see the hireling first. And the hireling does not stand a chance. Okay, so she's on this side. So the hireling is currently safe, and I'm going to actually ignore her and attempt to get some more. If I jump this gap, I might be able to steal some more of these before she catches up to me again. Nope, she is right on my butt. Steal, steal, steal. I don't see any more. So let's make a run for the middle. At some point she stops leaving, and you just kind of have to keep beating on her and get the 2 spiders at a time that spawn on her. So we got to 31, so we only need 5 more spiders. Oh, there's one right there. Go attack that. Not her. I will attack her. You go kill that guy. This is a quest that goes a lot faster if you can split up. See, she didn't leave this time. So even though I'm knocking her down to no HP, she won't leave. We have to deal with her for the rest of the quest. And while she's cowering, I'm going to make a run for that spider we saw. Stop walking away. Walk towards me, you stupid spider. No. No. Let go of me so I can catch up to the stupid spider. We only need 36. There's one. One more. And there we go. We have 36. So these torches are kind of hard to target. Like if you're just using Q and E, it doesn't quite work right for some reason. So what I do is I use the right mouse button to force a target, and then I can just hit E as I run by. So right mouse button, E. Right mouse button, E. And I can just do that the whole way around. That way I don't have to worry about misclicking or missing one of them and having to turn around while I'm being chased. And quest done.
A brilliant light fills the cavern. The spinner of shadows shouts. But it is a challenge, not defeat.
Hey, look, it brought me a crystal.
Once again, you are held in an irresistible web of force.
I'll probably switch back to the original. I don't know, it's going to be too loud still. So, let's see, which way should I be facing? Yeah, we'll find out. So she's not trapped. We lit all the things, but we did it slightly too late. She has been powered up because her patron has showed up and is literally ripping a hole through reality in order to rescue, reclaim their servant. So, big glowy red thing there, which
A voice of vast power.
cool. It's a neat, like, transparent effect. They should have given her a little bit more form, because I can barely even tell where her head is, because, like, this big oblong bit is her hair. Like, behind her head, her hair. But because her face is transparent, it kind of just looks like a giant beard. It's weird. Like, I get what they're going for. It's weird. So, what that is Lolth. That is the actual spider queen, the demon queen.
Lolth's voice fades away.
Lolth from Forgotten Realms. These were her drow all along.
Standing before the silver
Like the
flame
actual Underdark drow. That's why they were so extra evil, very aggressive, dressed differently. It's because they were literally from another world, egging on the Lords of Dust, collecting dragon shards. Okay, so Silver Flame pulled us out of there because otherwise we would have died. Okay. We out. I don't know if... I'll probably just keep this in. Just as one very long quest. So this right here is your quest reward. When you go to take your quest reward, it's going to play a cutscene. I don't know if I can play the cutscene because of the way YouTube works. But there's a cutscene there. Lolth introducing herself and her plan and everything. Just push enter and it will skip the cutscene. Jump doesn't work. If you hit escape, it'll also escape you out of your quest reward window. And then you'll be right back where you were before. Because you'll talk to him and he'll say, oh, watch cutscene. There's one more quest to this chain. This is where we just were. This is the Spinner's Prison. This is literally where we just were. It was on this little dais. And now there's a really big hole in the universe. This guy wants us to go explore. That's it. That's it. He's just like, we don't know what's that way. And I'm like, I'll go that way and I'll come back and tell you. Just making sure I'm clicking the right buttons because technically I've already done this, right? I'm redoing these for the audio. We are in a very purple area. It's very purple. It's very
This is unlike anything
spoopy.
I've ever seen before. Mountains
Don't
of
fall
stone
off.
float in the air.
If you fall off,
A huge
you get a negative level every time you fall off, and that sucks. It'll just plop you back up there at the entrance. So you're not insta-dead or whatever.
A voice in the distance
This
calls
big old shrimp demon is going to get cutscened to death. Because that old wizard is going to sneeze on it. Just the one loogie of power, and that's all it takes to kill demons here, apparently.
What brings ye into the demon web?
This is Elminster.
Ye must have
The
come
Elminster.
through the rift that
Like,
she made.
we're finally We're finally getting into some classic D&D stuff, not just Eberron, and they are swinging for the fences on the very first
I
pack.
can aid ye in all this, but it will not be
So there's the
easy.
Spinner of Shadows,
Come with me.
and Elminster's just like, nope, we need to move. He is exploring because he came from the other side of the rift.
Of the vile goddess
He
Lolth.
noticed Lolth got
She
distracted, and he's like, I'm
sisters,
gonna
Spinner
go.
of Shadows,
I'm gonna go sneak
are the
around in her
source of
backyard
thy
and see what
current
she's up to while
troubles.
she's distracted.
'Twas only possible for me to come here because
So we're
Lolth
walking.
let her
I don't know how
guards
easy
slip
that is
when
to
the
see,
rift
but we're
opened.
walking on shreds of
And
spider
I
silk.
cannot easily leave the demon web until she slips again. This rift,
We have to
her
follow
sister,
Elminster.
the
You have to
magic
stay near him.
shards
We
she's plundered from your world. They are
we
all
can't
part of
actually
some
get the next
vast
door open
tangled
until he
scheme of
very
Lolth's.
slowly walks himself over there.
Closer to my home, Lolth now wages war on the kingdom of Cormyr in a little village named Eveningstar.
So,
This
Eveningstar.
rift
That's where we're
and
going.
war are bound together in her
We are
plan.
doing this
So
entire
are you, I suspect.
quest chain. We are
I
doing
sense
it
that she has dropped
one
a
level
guard
ahead
there.
of time, because these are all level
Occupied with
16.
her sister,
We're
most
doing them a
likely.
level ahead of time,
I must
because on the
leave while I
other
can.
side
Find
of
thy
these
way to
quests
Eveningstar.
is
I will
Eveningstar.
meet you there.
It's a different hub
It is a
zone,
dangerous
and
journey,
it
but
has some level 15
you seem
quests.
to be accustomed
Free
to,
ones.
Dangerous
Because remember, everything
journeys.
we've been doing today is free. These are free quests. I was supposed to be casting my buffs while we were stuck following him around.
Falls out before you. Somewhere in this chaotic maze lies the path to the place Elminster called
It astounds me how much of this stuff is free. Like, yes, this chain was sort of a demo slash appetizer because they wanted you to play this and go neat and then buy the stuff that came after it in the storyline, which they've done often, but they don't often give you the an entire chain complete with named items, epic mode. This was a meaty thing to give away, and this was after they were already a hybrid free-to-play game. This was not like, we'll give them this one when we restructure. It's like, no, they were already a free game and made this and then released it free.
What will she do now that she
That
is
being
free
said,
from her prison in Khyber?
as pretty as this quest is, Osbald the Unwholesome. Apparently I found an optional guy. As pretty as all of this is, I don't really like 2 of these 4 quests from this chain. I don't like long hallways where I have to beat on things. And this quest is functionally one
Only
long
the strong survive in the demon
hallway.
and these trenches were not strong.
I do, if I'm going to look for positive things, I do like that it has different stages. We are currently in
Far away in the
I
center
mean,
of
look
the
at that.
demon web is a vast structure that can only be
Their
Lolth's
artist did a
lair.
good job. It's pretty. We'll start with that. It's pretty. I like that there's different sections to this quest. So it's not
The Spinner of Shadows
purely
along the demon web.
walk down one hallway. So quest number 2 for this chain. So I like the one where you kick down the door and take out the cultists. I'm always up to take out some cultists. There's so many of them. How are there so many? But anyway, kick down the door, take out the cultists, fine. That second quest though, it feels like it has no purpose.
Lies empty. The brood
At least
door has
this
fallen
quest is
into
trying to
deep
transport
slough.
you from one
Then
place to the
dispersed
next.
into the demon web. Fragments of
All that
long
second
forgotten
quest was
worlds
doing
lie
was,
ensnared
hey,
in Lolth's
we
web.
don't want you to fight the
This will
boss
be the
yet,
fate of Eberron
so
unless you
go
find
run down this
the
hallway.
rift that is slowly consuming your home.
That's it. These webs here can get a little confusing. You can crisscross your way all over these webs and get confused as to which way to go. The path you're looking for is kind of up left. Not the shrine, but the shrine is close. If you see the shrine down here, you want the one immediately to the left of the shrine. And that will take you forward as far as the quest is concerned. Then up to the right? No, straight. So up there we get another little cutscene. There's a different view of Whelp, and there's the Spinner of Shadows. Let's get close enough to make sure I've actually triggered the cutscene this time.
I promise you power beyond imagination.
So she's like, I will give you power. And the Spinner of Shadows is like, yeah, I'm already all in. I'm brainwashed all the way. And so then Whelp eats the Spinner of Shadows. Bloop, gone. And now we have a much bigger version of Whelp to actually look at. Like, that's the same model they used before, but just doesn't have the red transparency to it, so you can actually see what you're looking at. Come on, get out of here, Gretch. Apparently I missed something. Ah. I missed a spider. That wall was only held up by that one spider.
Ahead lies a glimmering
Alright.
magical portal.
Another glimmering magical portal, and now
Strange new world it leads to. But at least
we're in a
it'll
cave.
take you away from the demon web.
It's a big
You
cave.
find yourself in a vast cavern of
So this is the
stone
Underdark. This is
below the
the
surface.
Underdark.
If you are to
Your
find
character shouldn't know what that is, but Elminster's just dropping some proper nouns on us. Elminster's the narrator. Which, again, I don't think our character can hear the narrator. That would be a completely different game. So our goal right now is just to get to the surface. We're just running, looking for a way up to the surface, beating up everything we come across. I would roll a 1 on the stupid earth grab. You do need to kill the enemies on this path. There's a door up here, which I think we're getting close to. Yeah, this door right here, it looks like you can just walk through, but you can't. You cannot walk through this door unless the guys behind you are dead. Right, so if you try to walk through that door and it just doesn't let you through and you're just kind of walking into an invisible force field, turn around and kill the enemies. There's no visual indication that you can't go through there, but you can't. You have to go kill the enemies. It's just like this, see? There's maybe a very slight web there is what they're going for. Kill the spiders and now I can move forward. We are going... We're making a pretty good pace here. So, this is interesting. This is a spell ward. Spell wards are traps. If you have Dispel Magic, like I've been sitting on forever, I can hit that thing and with a couple of casts, dispel it. That counts as disabling a trap. If I dispel enough of them, I get the bonus XP, just like a rogue would
You
get.
have stumbled into a group of heavily armed.
And there's a lot of spell wards on the
Counted back on
the Forgotten Realms side of things.
Also, don't look pleased to see you.
Alright. We're getting a little closer to the surface. we're going to come around this corner and we're going to pass off the idiot ball to these guys up here.
On the ledge above. Perhaps they can lead
They have no peripheral vision. All they know is they're on their way to the outpost. It's this way. Let's go. I'm like, oh, clonk, 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 clonk. They'll never notice me. I'm Sergeant Sneaky. I'm going to dispel you.
lies ahead. If the scouts are right, it will
Get
take you
maybe
closer
my
to the
bonus
surface.
XP. Not yet. So the way it works, that spell ward has 16 levels. It's a challenge rating of 16. I dispel blah 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 a number of them. I reduced it by 7 on that cast, and by at least 9 on that cast. Once it hits 0, poof, gone. Was that enough? Still no. I don't know how many you have. The number of traps you have to disable for the XP bonus depends on how many traps are in the quest. 3 is apparently not enough.
Above, a strange creature spots you.
Surface dwellers.
Let's see if it's 4.
It snaps.
The slavers are
Alright, I rolled an 8. And an 8. There we go, plus 10%. So just carrying around Dispel Magic, because remember, my spells suck, right? Outside of my handful of buffs that are really good, the rest of my spell slots are wastes. But Dispel Magic, or if you really want to, there's also Break Enchantment. I believe it also hurts spell wards. There's a couple more on the way to that shrine, by the way. I'm not going to bother with them. I thought about taking Break Enchantment. Break Enchantment has it's like an AoE dispel, but it works on things like cloud kills and stuff like that. Enemy AoEs too. I don't know if there's enough of them to make it worth even putting on my bar. But as a paladin, I can always just rest at a shrine and then swap out a spell. I don't have to worry about finding the scroll or anything later, or having to level up to change it out. Alright, so we made it to the outpost. We killed the guys we followed. We killed their boss. We're going to take their stuff. Potions of haste, things that I should carry more of, but I don't. And now this is the boss. We have left the Underdark. We can see the sky. We can see burning because the town is still under attack. And once she goes down, we can come over here. I think I have to defeat every single drow, so I have to run over here and kill the last couple. There we go. Pull the lever. Free the captives. Talk to this one in particular. And she says, "Oh, great. Have you met Elminster?"
But where did you come from?
We're going to talk to her more later when we come back here doing the level 20 quests. They might be 21. She is an important character to the chain. Just not right now. There she is again. There's her friends. We'll see them later. Well, switching back to the original footage now. We're in the Forgotten Realms.
The people here know the name of Elminster, the wizard who
Everything
braved
is a
demon
little
web.
more
Some call him
rustic.
the Sage of Shadowdale, others the Great Oversorcerer.
Because Eberron is like
anyone can
steampunk
fathom
world,
Wolf's
basically,
plans,
and this is all
Elminster
normal
will.
D&D world. You got little houses, everything's kind of bright. Got trees and stuff instead of just a giant city. So, now that we're here, we can do the actual free quests for level 15. Those were all level 16. So, let's point this out. Assuming that there we go. There are three basic ways to get to back and forth from Eveningstar back to Eberron. We turn around, go back in the cave. See, this is where we freed the slaves, or the to-be slaves. There's the portal. We can use this portal and we can just click return to the Spinner's prison in Kyber. That'll take us back to where we were on the other side of the quest, in the Eberron side. We can walk out the door and we're in the harbor. Now that we have done the quest, we can do that the other way too. We can go from the harbor into that little prison zone, click on the portal, and we can just come straight here instead of having to do the quest again. We can now just walk back and forth using that. Way faster and more convenient if you have a guild airship. The guild airship should be able to just take you straight here. Even faster than that. Okay, the fastest way. No, the fastest way is if you have one of these. So, this is from the Feywild expansion. They have recently upgraded it so you only have to carry one. But there was the Sharn expansion, or adventure pack, the Ravenloft adventure pack, Feywild, Salt Marsh, Isle of Dread. Each of those, I think it was at least the collector's edition, maybe just the super edition, came with an item that lets you teleport straight to that pack. Ravenloft, in particular, is convenient because when you leave Ravenloft, one of the options is you leave Ravenloft and you pop out in that cave right there. So I will often use my little tuning fork or bottle of mist or whichever one I have on that character, go to Ravenloft, turn around, hit the button, poof, now I'm over here. It only works if you have been here, so you have to have already done the chain. Otherwise, we would have just walked into Ravenloft and then hit the button, right? But it doesn't work because we hadn't done the chain yet. The other option, which I believe does work, even if you have, even if you haven't done it before, on the login screen, where you have your list of characters on the one side and it has enter game and everything, there's a button that says transport, like Hall of Heroes transport or something like that. So let's go look. Let's just go look at it. Transport to Eberron, transport to Forgotten Realms. I don't own that on this account, but I could. I could buy this feature, walk to the Hall of Heroes where I am, whichever world I'm in, log out, click the button, and it'll move me from that Hall of Heroes to the other Hall of Heroes. So I can just log out and it'll just move me to the other one. The downside is you have to actually go to the Hall of Heroes. That is the zone where we did the Snow Peaks Festival stuff. Just that little hub zone. You have to either be a VIP to use that, buy it separately, or iconic characters, the ones that start at level 15, can use that by default. It's just a part of being an iconic. Since we are none of those things on this account, we had to do the level 16 chain to get here. Eveningstar is pretty big. It's probably about the size of the harbor or the marketplace. It's one big zone. So it's like the marketplace, we'll say. It's got a lot of stuff in it, but it's only one map. These guys over here, let's look at the map. So we came in here. This first little group of quests right here, these are all sagas. Every one of these is going to give you a list of quests, and if you do all those quests, you get a big old reward. Usually XP. These ones that I can't take, those are the epic sagas. We're not level 20 yet. You can't take them. That's heroic. And there are even more right up ahead. Here's more sagas, which we haven't done any of those either. And she won't give me the saga, but there's another one right there. What's interesting about the sagas in this area? So we've done a saga before. Ravenloft had a saga, which was just do all of Ravenloft. Get an extra reward for having done all of it. Three Barrel Cove had one that you had to do Three Barrel Cove and the Sentinels chain, and then like one random free-to-play quest. But then they all counted together. These ones are weird because they overlap. So you do, like, well, obviously you do all the quests, you'll get one of each saga. But some of them kind of overlap. So you can kind of get away with do this chain, get a saga, do another chain, and then that'll kind of backfill and count for a saga you already collected. They're not... There's ways you can kind of double dip on the quests out here. This is the main hub. Here is Elminster. He's the one we're supposed to talk to. There's our reward for having done that quest to get here. I don't want concentration. I'll take the accuracy. Whatever.
While hardship and war preoccupy Eveningstar,
There's
bad
brokers.
news of a different
I
type
usually just
arrives
throw
with a
everything in
single
the general
ranger.
vendor. I'm gonna
A
repair our
problem the
stuff
priests
over
have
here.
ignored
Sell
to
gems.
their peril.
Get rid of all of this. I might keep that. Get rid of all of this stuff. I'll keep it. And you. Good enough. Okay, I have inventory space again. There's a hireling vendor over here, so when you run out of hirelings, you don't have to go all the way back to Eberron to get more. What we're here for, though, is this quest over here. Actually, two quests. I'm going to start with the one I like less. It's not to say bad, just like less. All the way on the other side of this bridge, which is making me feel very slow. All right. Whew. Hiya, Hamish. What do you need me to do? So, this is a level 16 quest. It's one of the... four? One of the 4 free-to-play quests out here. What's this? A cult? Can't spit without finding a cult in this place.
Masked members of the Cult of the
So,
Dragon have been
I need to get more
reported on this
hirelings.
spot.
But until then, hey, you, can I have your face? And then we legitimately take their faces. We take their masks.
You may be able to use it to deceive them.
So they put a mask in your inventory. If I double click this mask, I actually put it on, although I'm a Dragonborn and the Dragonborn don't show all the helmets. So now that I'm wearing the mask... Hi. Somebody tried to ambush me. That's all it took. No, that guy was mean to me. That's why I have all this blood all over me. And we're just inside. That's all it took. That's all it took. You know what else is going to take? Apparently, I can take the mask off and they don't care. There we go.
As a kobold, you have given yourself away as
I have no interest in doing it the stealthy way. There is a stealthy way, but I'd rather just kill them all. If you want to, like, do it the slow way, you can do all of these little optionals, like disrupt the supplies. If you get yourself into that building right there, you can mess with their supplies. Neutralize the cultists in the bar. The bar, just go down. The bar is that building. I could go and fight all the other guys, but I'm not going to bother right now. You'll notice there's a dimensional anchor in this quest. You are not allowed to dimension door because that would make the quest hilarious. I am curious if they have programmed this quest to also not allow you to use the hireling that has dimension door, because sometimes the hirelings can do things that they're not supposed to. But we're doing everything the normal way. I can't see because that tapestry keeps blocking my camera. But come on, you guys only take like 2 hits if you would just hold still. Okay, 3 hits. Yeah. They have a Mask of the White Dragon. We're here to steal it. We are here to steal it by force. Now, to be fair, if you look in the Dungeon Master's Guide, one of the 5th edition books, one of the actual real books, has the dragon masks. They're actually these like powerful items. So this actually is something that the local, like, it's the Harpers, you know. The Harpers do not want this white dragon mask in the hands of bad guys, because it actually is a dangerous item. I don't know what its powers are. I think one of the dragon masks has like the power of persuasion or something. That could be bad. If a cult had a mask of magical persuasion. So the second we pick the thing up, all of these traps turn off. And apparently more bad guys. Dart traps, blade traps, traps all over the place. Be smarter than me and go the same way that you went down. Backtrack instead of... Thank you, Tapestry. Backtrack the same way you went instead of fighting more guys. So this part of the quest is just, you know, stepping between blades. Ooh, double the fun. Have I taken damage from any of these? That's what I think of your traps. Ah, they stunned me. Alright. Go after the casters first. You can kind of ignore the archers, but I'm going to kill them anyway, because I can. We're just fighting our way out. There we go. Once everybody's dead, we literally are just going to open the gate, whoop these last guys, and walk out. This is why you can't dimension door, because if you could dimension door, you would pick up the mask, dimension door, and it would take you straight to the end of the quest, which is how we would actually do this. If you were trying to steal an object like that from a cult, you would just dimension door out as soon as you got your hands on it. Just saying. Just saying, that's exactly how you would do it. So, I believe it's possible to do the whole quest like, stealthy as a rogue? I haven't done it. I just hold down left mouse button and the bad guys fall down. I do like the idea though. I like the idea of like if you have the right character, talk your way past the first guards, disable the traps probably because you're a rogue. Maybe you can sneak out. I don't know if you can sneak out or not. I doubt it. They almost always want you to at least fight the boss. But maybe. Okay. Pumpkin, the Shiv Shortshanks. Her adventuring party hit a snag. She's the only one who made it back to town. So this is an interesting quest. I like this one. As I just mentioned, only one member of that adventuring party made it out. And contrary to most of the stuff we've done, like, we are sent back in not to get the loot, not to get any artifact or finish the mission or anything like that. We are sent to rescue that adventuring party. Would you like to come within melee range, please? Hey, hireling, you want to help out here a little bit? Thank you. I mean, we're 2 feet into the quest, and we're already fighting, like, scorpions and lizard folk and harpies. This one was made long, long after the days of one enemy in a giant hallway. And you fight that same enemy over and over.
The main chamber of the tomb is littered with fragments of shattered pottery and broken sun.
Now we're fighting undead, and stupid quells blinding me. So this is the tomb. This is the part of the quest I don't quite understand. So we're supposed to find our way deeper into the complex, right? They found this tomb, but all of the adventurers you're rescuing are deeper on the other side of all of these undead. How did they get deeper? What you're looking for is this control orb. You push the control orb, you do the same on the other side, and that's going to open that middle section right there. I know it didn't look like much, it just looked like a wall. That fucking intersection again. You're just blinding me out of spite. Orb. Control orb. Control is important.
As the last control hole
Can I cure
is
intercession?
activated, you
No.
hear the sound of stone.
I can't use my cure because I'm under intercession. That's the thing that stops you from using divine power. Alright, down goes some helm whores. There's our vision back. So, she came out. How did she get out? And then all of the doors are locked behind her? All of the enemies are still up? I get the... Was she the rogue of the party? I got the feeling she's the cleric. She cast Word of Recall. I think she says that in her quest introduction. Anyway, so yes, she can teleport out, but still, they had to get in here. One way or the other. They've already passed this way. Intercession again. All they do is make it so I can't see where I'm going. Anyway. There is a lever behind the throne. You pull the lever, it opens a door, and now we can move on from the tomb. In a couple seconds I'll be able to see again. into a more natural cavern. When you get to the natural cavern, straight ahead, first thing you're going to find, the fighter. Just chilling here. He's taking out some skeletons. You can see him on the ground. So you give him a pumpkin. Here's your rock that will teleport you out. One down. Gotta find 4 more. Lean. Let's see. You have to go into this corner here. And here is a Shatter Kai, so you're probably the rogue. There you go. That teleports her out. 2 down. 3 to go. There's nothing down that little path right there. I have the map because remember I'm redoing these because the audio got screwed up. Which means I can go a little bit faster than before. No going down the wrong way for me. Although, hordes of vermin chasing me because... Okay, like I can get the Umber Hulk, right? Ravenous Umber Hulk even. It's hungry, it's desperate, but how many Mephits need to die before the other Mephits go, maybe I don't suicide into the man with the giant flaming sword? And what makes those scorpions think they're going to be able to take something down that much bigger than them? Like, how many predators prey on things bigger than them? That's kind of not how it works. You prey on things smaller than you. Those were just regular-sized scorpions. Anyway, there's a door here. There's a missing adventurer behind it after we kill some of the most dangerous kobolds in the game. Specifically, let me see if there's one in here. I can't target those ones yet. The shamans in particular have, at least on epic mode, because this quest has epic mode, they have energy burst, which does thousands of damage, and you can just kind of accidentally go, oh, I'm dead. Just, I got killed by kobolds. So, the dwarf didn't make it. We can take his body back. It's very sad. Rip dwarf. Except they're just gonna resurrect him, right? Like, he's an adventurer. He's tough enough to survive being resurrected. I could almost buy the argument that, like, when a farmer dies, right? There's not quite enough, not vitriol, vitality. There's not quite enough vitality in, like, a generic farmer to, you know, be able to be brought back. But he was an adventurer. And this is not a place for low-level adventurers. Praying in Elven, so you must have been the cleric. Yep, you were the cleric. So maybe it was the bard. I think the bard is the one that got out. Pumpkin is a good name for a bard. So we got one left. There's also a shrine down there. We got one left. We're almost at the end of this quest. What could possibly go wrong? Oh god, kobolds. The most dangerous game. So I'm on heroic mode, so I don't think they have energy burst. And I have 55 fire resistance to take a tiny chunk of that out. So we are going to go kill all these kobolds. They are protecting their master. They are being good little kobolds. They're also very large. You see how big that freaking kobold is? He is legitimately bigger than me. Like, if he wasn't all hunched over. And this up here
Searing lava
is the Kobold's
dots this
Master.
massive chamber. Yet the thing that
One of the
draws
few,
your eye is the resting form
one of the
an ancient
strangely
red
few, wakey wakey,
dragon, faint whimpering
actual dragons in this game. Dragons are not kobolds. Dragons do not just show up willy-nilly. They show up as boss monsters, and they are usually big and scary, and I'm on heroic mode, so this one's not as scary, but is still a dragon. Hi, Mr. Dragon. We're the same color. Can we be friends? Can I ride your back and fly around? No? Can I have your wizard? There we go. Fight finally starting. When he gets to half health, which he's apparently one hit away from, he gets to half health, he's going to summon some kobolds. There are kobold shamans that come, and they're going to spam fire attacks, and especially on epic, man. Do not let them just chill back there. They're almost more dangerous than the dragon.
Cries of anger turn to
And here
whimpers
is
of fear.
their wizard. Here you go.
The wizard
You're free.
chained to the
Good job.
wall of the lair beckons to you.
And
You successfully rescued Hopkins' missing
we're out.
party.
We've rescued them all. I like rescue quests where you actually find the people to rescue. I like there's a dragon at the end. Alright. Check, check, check. Quadruple check, check, check. 2 left. This has been... Well, I guess it's only been 2.5 hours. That's honestly not that bad, considering how many quests we're running through and how far apart they are. We've got this chain left. Kind of. So, north side of the map, these 3 guys right here. Alright, which one are you? Okay, yes, you're the first quest. So, there are others. Okay, get this, cultists. How many cults can there seriously be? This isn't even the same cult that we... This is the 3rd cult this video. And they're not even overlapping cults.
The air grows crisp as you climb into the foothills of the Stormhorns. In time, you reach the place
If
where the
you
sharp
are in a point in your life, okay?
sanctuary
You're in a point
must
in
be
your
someone
life
nearby.
that you're thinking that you're going to join a doomsday cult that is actively trying to bring about, like, at minimum, great widespread pain to all people, and most likely the end of the world.
One of the worshippers sponsored a dashing
If your life is that bad, just become a vigilante. Go and, like, figure out what made your life bad,
sounds of
and
your
just go run towards it with a sharp stick. Like,
any Shar worshippers.
why would you burn the entire world down because your luck was
Interior
bad?
of the cave is strangely empty.
I can't imagine that there's, like, how do cults even,
Or do they
how do they
simply
recruit?
lie in
Do they
wait
just
further on?
stand outside of, like, rehab facilities going, hey, you know what you need? A lot of togetherness? I don't know. I've never met a cultist. I've never met a cultist I didn't stab. So in this quest, we're actually here to capture the disciples. So when you beat them up, they get the little swirly over their head. You have to talk to them, and then it'll spawn these little chains, and that represents them being tied up. And then the guys behind you are going to come actually collect them. So we need to just make our way through the cave. Did I miss a lever? Are you the lever? There we go.
A gate gate
Now we are going to make our way through the cave,
Shar worshippers use these gates
beating
to
up
keep
cultists.
intruders away from their inner sanctum.
I mean, they live in a cave. Like, okay, so fantasy setting, right? Fantasy setting. Poverty hurts a lot worse. There's no food stamps in the Middle Ages or fantasy world. So if you're poor and your family's gone, you don't have anything to live for, like, you know, maybe the cultists, maybe they're just being offered food. Like, hey, you want a place to live? We've got our own god. If you worship her, she'll give you stuff. They it might not actually be that hard. Of course, that is up until the point that they start like summoning devils and stuff, and then you like it gets the point that they start bringing in the shadow realm and sacrificing people to become like puppets of darkness and all that. It's like, I was only here for the finger sandwiches. I would like to call in sick tomorrow and skip the mass execution of all the townsfolk. Also, there's
the disciples surrender to you, and the magic
apparently I just was going too fast. How is it that Shar has not made an appearance? Like, supposedly she's another big capital G god, just like Lolth. Lolth is actively doing things. Shar is the main goddess behind all these like evil shadow cultists, but nothing. You can kind of understand it when it was like the Lords of Dust. They're cultists, but they're not drawing power from the Lords of Dust. They're trying to free the Lords of Dust on the promise of later power. But there's no way the Lords of Dust can actually give any power to them before they're free. Shar is kind of actively giving her guys powers, but not actually preventing the paladin from just stabbing them repeatedly.
Corpses rot inside these makeshift cells.
Like, right now they just said, oh, these guys disobeyed Shar, so they died. It's like, alright, well, is one of Shar's commandments to die the second a single paladin runs through here? Like,
A gate creaks open somewhere to the north.
that's got to be the worst part. Okay, you join a doomsday cult, okay? And let's say, for the sake of argument, your evil doomsday cult god is real. Turns out to be real. Okay? There actually is a Gozer, right? You're the key master. Gozer is real. And then you fail, right? You fail. Paladin comes by, stabs you, right? You go to the afterlife because the gods are real in this hypothetical, and then you're just face to face with the god that you have failed. An evil god you knew was an evil god, and you failed them. This is some this is like Iago and Jafar from Aladdin. Like, you don't want to be a Iago.
Protect the altar.
Don't
Protect our priest, shouts a panicked voice.
don't make yourself be a Iago.
Shar worshippers must be close.
At least if you're like very crappily living as a poor dirt farmer, but you worship one of the nice gods, you go to a nice afterlife, right? The other thing that, ironically, the only thing that should never exist in all of Dungeons and Dragons that a lot of people overlook, there should be 0 atheists. The gods are too clearly, obviously real. Like, almost to the point that if it's like, but mommy, I don't believe in, let's pick, Tor Joaquin, or I think that's the name of one of the gods of wealth or whatever, or maybe that was a luck god. Or Torm. I know Torm or Helm. You could literally just go to one of the churches, and their high priest can just do a big light show and actively show you, like, you could commune with the gods themselves. There are clerics that shoot laser beams out of their eyes or whatever because they have the power of the gods. But there are still, like, I don't know if atheist is the right word. The lore behind Kelemvor is that he's got, like, the wall of the faithless. So everybody who refused the gods ends up just as a brick in the wall because they had to go somewhere after death, apparently. So they just become part of his wall. So there are apparently people who just don't pick a god, and it's like, it can't be that hard. There's got to be at least one very, very forgiving, good aligned god that's just like, okay, come on. Don't actively be a jerk. Live your life mostly okay, and you can come chill with me in my version of the afterlife. Like, there's got to be at least one of those.
The river voyage begins peacefully enough. One night
Shar is definitely not that one, though.
stops to make
What is their end game here?
waves you over to discuss your guard duties.
Alright, so we beat up all of the disciples in the previous quest, right? Here they all are. We have captured all of them, now we need to transport them back to town, is what Chapter 2 of this quest is. So, we're going to get ambushed, we need to fight them off. Now you're caught up, and I'm going to go back to my rant. What is the point of worshipping Shar? Or any of the evil deities? What's going to happen when you die? Because chances are very, very good, you died because you failed at whatever it was that your god wanted you to do. Do you really want to go to the afterlife and have to face Loki or whoever your god of choice is and be like, I failed? You know how you said fail or suffer eternally? And that was a big motivator. But then I failed anyway? Can I not suffer eternally? Like, what's the upside? Right? What's the upside? You, like, most of the good religions, the upside is your stereotypical, like, heaven type thing, right? You just get to live peacefully, or, like, you float on in half oblivion in eternal comfort or something like that. Can you imagine the pamphlet that Lolth gives out? Yeah, you better do everything I say or I'm going to torture you. And then even after you die, whether or not you did a good job, I'm going to then also torture you. Because I'm basically the god of torture. And it's like, why? What's the upside? Are you hoping that you do a good enough job that instead of being tortured, like, you get to torture some people instead? Like, you get to be the torturer? That's your best case scenario? Why? It's one thing if you have to team up with an evil god temporarily.
being freed.
Right? I could see I could see one of my old D&D characters basically had that problem. It was more like a warlock pact, right? I need power. We're going to come into this temporary arrangement, you and I.
Is it over? He asks.
But it's an arrangement. It's a contract.
Beggars weren't able to lay a claw on
I basically did that with a... Wow, did we...
What's that?
We stopped all of the prisoners from getting out? Interesting.
Towards the Shard priest.
Of course, this guy does what they should have done to begin with. He runs up, touches the guy on the shoulder, and casts Dimension Door. And they're gone. Just that's what they should have started with. If they could do that, they could have just grabbed all of them. Fortunately, Mr. Bart mentions that, hey, Dimension Door is a short-range spell. They can't have gone far. Good point. So we're going to clomp through the forest and go find our guy and take him back. And accidentally stab this wolf as we run by. So I had a D&D character that was a cleric, and I was a cleric of an evil god. But the whole story there was that I was the cleric of a good god, and that god abandoned me because I chose good over obedience. So they stripped me of all of my powers and left me to die. And then the evil god, who is more on the selfish side, not the mustache-twirlingly evil side, happens to be patron of that area. And the best way I can describe it is, imagine you are a cleric of Thor, like from the Marvel movies, right? Because he is technically a god, at least as far as the Norse mythology goes. You're a cleric of Thor, and you chose not to smite someone. You chose not to fight. And he goes, "What are you talking about? I'm all about the fighting. Screw you. I'm not going to be your god anymore." And then Loki comes up and goes, "Hey, you know it'd be great. I will save your life, and I will give you back powers, specifically so that you can show up your former boss." Which is a very Loki thing to do. Doesn't even care exactly what you do, right? So yes, you're a cleric of a evil god, but you've only really got the powers specifically to mess with your original god. That was a fun dynamic. I'm kind of sad that one didn't get to that game didn't get to continue to its actual conclusion. But I've kind of used that character idea as some NPCs here and there. It's a fun idea. Anyway, we have killed the lizard. We've got our prisoner back. There's your quest. Alright, so assuming that I didn't miss one, that has been all of the level 15 and 16 free quests. An entire quest chain, 2/3 of a different quest chain. There is another, there's another quest, but technically, it looks like I can just take it because I can. If you don't own this pack, she will be red. You can only do the first 2 quests, not the last one. Kind of bugs me a little bit. But to be fair, the pack that comes with that quest comes with a lot of stuff. Not super popular stuff in some case, but a lot of stuff. So next time we're going to do an actual paid expansion that is out here. We're just going to knock out the mines of Teth Yamar. We get that done, and then head back to Eberron, just so I don't have to walk back. So yeah, there you go. Next time, Mines of Teth Yamar. I don't need to give my opinion on the free quests because they're free. Run them if you like them, don't if you don't. Doesn't cost you anything, not out anything. Although, you really should run the storyline one that gets you here. I'm out. Thank you for watching. This has been a very, very long sitting trying to make sure I get all of those, so big thanks for those of you actually watching all the way to the end. Alright, you all have a good night. Take care.